Whoa, I think we may be figuring out our lighting solution. Hello, guys, welcome back. Oh, Loki's been being there for me, and I hope it's like not like setting off anybody that I'm leaning like a little, I'm not dead center in camera, but uh, I'm a little more relaxed. I'm not sleeping at the right time, but I got a couple hours and then a couple more hours of sleep and within a 24-hour period. So I had slept for 4 hours and then was up and then um, got some sleep. And Loki was like the one making sure I got some sleep. He like literally was like, if he could physically pick me up and drug me and threw me into that bed, he would have. And then he was like, when and I would like tread claw my way out of bed and like out of sleep. He's like, no, you're staying here, stay. And I needed that. My body needed the rest because you can't just keep running on 4 hours of sleep. Some people can. Some people can. Their bodies are engineered to do that. Not this one. This one's like 16 hours of sleep. That's good. That's good. We don't have to be awake, not ever. So, like, yeah, I'm usually the opposite way. I'm like, usually I sleep my life away because, I just usually love my sleep. For me to not be sleeping, it's like, something's going on. Now, before I say this, I'm not judging my aunts, but if my aunts knew exactly why I haven't been sleeping everything, they would fly into hypermental judgment mode. And that's why they don't know what medication it is, why I'm having trouble, so much trouble, and they don't know the extent of the trouble that I'm having. But video I wanted to make for you before, and I couldn't think of words in the English language because I couldn't think, was that Loki won't do that for you. Loki's not a god that judges like that. He's not going to make a moral judgment. He's not going to call you an addict or anything to your face. He knows that your body, Expector is a terrible, terrible, terrible drug for so many people, and you don't know until you take it. It's one of those drugs that doctors put you on to save your life. And it's like saying you shouldn't go on cancer treatment because it might make the cancer worse in some weird cases. Some cancer drugs are very strange. Because my dad was on one that they said, we don't know what this will do. It could make you worse. It could hasten stuff. And it was primarily an electric drug, and they said we don't know what this will do. And Expector is one of those kind of drugs where it could cure you, it could make you completely better, or it could kill you stone dead. And when I first went on it, kind of was helping, but kind of was making stuff worse, and it kept going up, kept going up. It was not helping. I mean, oh god, oh god. And then so finally he called the doctor. I'm like, I have to get off this stuff. And we were coming down, and then I finally saw on my main channel. I'm like, I was going through the weaning off phase. I said, I have to stop this. I was into the solid second week of weaning off phase. And we had been weaning off, coming back down. I wasn't like coming off like a real high dose and then I was on the babyest baby dose. And then it was going to be, if I had made it through that second solid week of baby dose, it was going to be every other day for 2 weeks. And I just told my people, I said, there is something wrong. And I've been on depression medication for the vast majority of my life, ever since like people figured out I wasn't just dark, moody person, that I could, use some depression medication. I knew I had to stop taking that medication that day. It was that bad. And for like the first week after stopping, yeah, I didn't feel great, but then like for a couple days there, I had like this little bubble where I was great, and then bang, like you stop sleeping. And when you stop sleeping, um, you don't care about depression. Depression's the last thing from your mind. For a couple days, you're okay, but then you're like, you start to lose your mind. You get irritable, you get all these other, I mean, if you look up depression, not depression, look up effects or side effects, withdrawal effects, um, yeah, people say it's like getting off heroin. I've never been on heroin and got off of it, but dude, if this is what you've been going through, man, brother, yeah, you are my brother in war, because this is stuff like you could torture prisoners with this, and you could get anything you wanted out of them. Because like, if I could pay somebody to make it stop, I would pay them. I'd be like, yo, brother, what you need, I will pay you. Iced coffee, and I make my coffee weak, by the way. It seems to help. For me, caffeine seems to help. It seems to like calm me down and soften out the rough edges of the side effects, because caffeine's kind of like a sedative to me instead of upper. Mm. And I'm drinking it with no choice sweet in it. Well, sweet and low in black. Anyhow, Loki has been the one who's been there for me in this. Because one of the big things I have, one of my life challenges, and I think we all get like just based on who we are, I don't think this is like something the gods just to be, trying to think of something to say that wouldn't sound rude. I don't think the gods, come to our cribs and say, here are the challenges you're going to have in life. I don't think they do that to us. I think as we develop challenges, and I think a lot of them are, based, psychologically, they're based on our past and da-da-da. And one of the challenges I have is letting anyone see me weak and let anyone help me. I have to be independent and I have to be strong. And oh God, if a man tells me I need his help, trust me, and there's good reason for that. I will flip out, and you're not going to help me. A man help me. You're not, and it's not a feminism thing either. It's a survival thing. You're not going to help me. I can do it myself. And Loki's been the one to help me, and he's a very whack of the masculine guy, even though he's all genders, all things, can shapeshift and everything else. It's been the masculine energy, but he's been there, and that's the only way I can explain it. Excuse me. He's let me feel he's there. He's let me feel his energy. But he's letting it be. He's not pushing me to be an emotional, clingy female. He's not pushing me to cry and share my feelings. But he's letting me know he's there. As I'm going through all this garbage and all this wondrous stuff. He's like, it's okay, I'm here. And because he knows that's what I need. I mean, he knows I need him here, and I've told him I need him here. Even though it kills me inside to admit, I'm dependent on anyone, even on my God, even on my patron. He knows that kills me inside because of drama. But he's the only one that could do that, because he's Loki, and he has that capacity in him that he can be what you need. And right now he's been this real quiet presence. He's been, I'm not fit to be around humans right now. I'll sleep for a couple hours a day, and then like today was like the first day that my body was so tired that I got a couple additional hours of sleep. But like, I'm having trouble putting words and stuff together and thinking, and like, I'm emotionally fragile. You're not seeing it on camera because I don't film until I've got my stuff together. And he's the one that he's okay being there with that, because he can relate. The gods don't have their stories just, for pretties. And I'm not saying that to be mean or sarcastic. They have their stories so that if, when we're willing to hear and listen and understand and be vulnerable and show them we're vulnerable, that we can learn from them, because that for me is a huge thing. I don't like to be vulnerable because I was taught it was a weakness, and basically in our family it was beat out of you. Um, you were taught to be strong, you were taught to be fierce, and you were taught to be independent. If you thought being female meant you could be weak physically or anything else, you were going to have it beat out of you twice. Yeah, so he's really had to work to make sure, that during this time period that I've been okay, and he's so good at it that and through his own experiences, he's just known that the best thing to do is just be there and just be silent. And I've appreciated it. I really have, because, no one else in the universe could do that. No one else knows me well enough that they could just be there and not judge and not be like, well, he's not doing that. And he's not holding my hand and giving long-winded speeches or anything else. He's just being there, which is what I need right now. I mean, maybe later when the effects calm down, and it can take weeks or months or years, you don't know. Yay. I can talk about things, but right now I can't. Right now I'm in a place where 1 minute you're like calm, the next minute you're raging at the world. And like the next minute you're crying for no good reason. I mean, like seriously, like a commercial for like the NFL will come on and be like, "It's beautiful," and it's like, oh my god, I feel flipping insane. And it's just like, as your body's coming back online, you get to go through this wondrous merry-go-round, and there's nothing they can give you to soothe the edges. I do have women's magical pills of don't kill men because they are units, and those help a little, but at the same time they cannot touch the magic that is coming off of Expector. And the caffeine is helping a little, and being gentle with myself, even though I was taught it was weakness, that is helping a little. But what's mostly helping is like kind of retreating, not from like YouTube or anything, but kind of just like retreating a little and just like kind of like taking my time. And I'm not like saying I won't be on YouTube, I will, but at the same time it's like where am I even going with that? I don't know where I'm going with that one. But it, like, I guess retreating from stuff I know now I don't have to handle. And like when you're on the Expector, you feel like you have to handle it because Expector gives you this artificial high. It's an upper, and it gives you this artificial happiness, and you feel you must go out and handle the world. And once you get off of it, you're like, I'm good. As long as like I'm not on fire, I'm good. You handle that over there. You're doing just fine. So if I seem like I'm not responding to anything, I mean, I'll respond to comments on my own channel, and I'll probably talk to anyone I'm subscribed to. But if I seem like I'm not responding to stuff like I usually would, or making videos on stuff, that's why. I'm like, you go be you. That's awesome, man. You go be you. Great. I got enough to deal with right now. And I'm not saying that in a non-caring way. It's just like, yeah, I got enough to deal with over here right now. I'm good. And that is just my process right now. The very great fun of being vulnerable. And it has nothing to do, by the way, if you guys are wondering, it has nothing to do with your gender, because I'm actually gender fluid. And I'm pansexual too, in case you guys have forgotten. And I don't know if that makes it different for me. I don't know. But I do know my past makes it different for me. I mean, if you literally have the weakness of being female beaten out of you, yeah, it's like I saw something on the runes, and a guy was going on about it being traditionally a female rune. He's something hashtag feminism. I swear to the gods, no, I like this guy, so please, if you see this, like, please, man, I like you, okay? But I swear, if I had been in the same room with him, I would have just punched him in the face, because I'm like, you living piece of... And it would have been my fist to his face, because I'm like, I'm never going through that again. And it was like, I'm not weak, and you're not putting me through that again. And Loki's like, oh... And he's just watching, because, like, all that suppressed rage just came through. And the funny thing was, it was like a runabout rage. And I'm like, I'll show you how weak women are. And I'll show you how tender and delicate we are. And how much we need a man to go protect us. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll show you how tiny we are. And now my main issue with the video is not that it was about women being tiny and weak and delicate. There's nothing wrong with needing someone to protect you, but what I hate in pagan research is that women are either shield maidens that can do it all and will kill you in your sleep, or we're tiny delicate flowers. Come on, man, there had to be, like, both in history. There had to be both in history. There had to be women that would have killed you dead for looking at them wrong, and there had to be tiny, delicate flowers, or we wouldn't be here as a species. There had to be both. I mean, because if all women had been homicidal crazy girls, they'd all kill their children in the cribs, and humans wouldn't be here as a species. But if we'd all been like tiny little simpering things, and the men had been out hunting and warring and everything, and other men had come by raping and pillaging, then all the children will be gone. Because, well, who protected the, the children when the men were all out doing this stuff? The old men? No, the women had to be doing something, man. Think. So, it's like, yeah, like, what happened? Like, you only took so many men, you left the rest of the men behind? That wouldn't work with the guys that had been like, oh, I wouldn't go kill too. Don't leave me here with all the women. Wait. You leave me here with all your women, and you're going off to word. You'll be gone for years. Oh, wait. Change that. Go ahead, go off to work. See you later, guys. Like, one lucky guy left with, like, 50 women until, like, PMS kicked in, and then he'd be like, no. Yeah, but I'm okay, guys. I just have to ride this out. I don't know how long it lasts. It's not like there's a magical timeline. It could be a day, it could be 2 weeks. And I'm kind of okay, and when I say I'm okay, I mean I'm as okay as I'm gonna be given the situation. Usually, unless I've taken a shotgun blast to the face, and I'm dying in front of you, even then I'll be like, I'm okay. I'm fine. And you'll be like, but you're dying. Yeah, I know, I'm okay. I'm fine. What am I going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. I mean, I don't want you guys to worry. I don't want you to be sad or anything. There's nothing you can do. Like, comment, and subscribe. That helps. That helps muchly. But if you are here, by the way, and you're watching and your doctor's like thinking prescribing Expexor, please do not go on it, or not go on it based on me talking about side effects. But if you need help, please get it. Expexor is one of those last-ditch resorts when nothing else has worked. For a vast majority of people, it seems like it doesn't work, but it does seem to work for a small segment. So please, as bad as I feel right now, I would rather see you be thrown onto a raft, the really crappy raft of Expexor, and still be alive than not be given anything. I mean, as crap as I feel right now, I'd rather see you on it and, you know, be alive and be joining me in Crapland than, you know, not anything. Because usually your doctor puts you on it when there's no other choice. But that said, there are other drugs out there. There are other alternatives to being on drugs. There are other therapies that work better for some people than others. So please do your research. you know, you do and you can beat depression. I don't know that I feel depressed. I just like, I feel like I can't wait for the side effects to be done. I think the depression actually was booted out by the Expexor. It's like booting the Expexor out of the system. But we'll see. We'll see. And maybe I might just have seasonal depression, but like right now I have Expexor depression. It's like I have to write it out. Right now my body's struggling to cure itself, to come back online. It's like my body was taken completely over by the drug. And now it's been thrown back onto its own devices, and my body's just, it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know what to do. It's lost. It's like you took a little 5-year-old kid and dropped him in the middle of the national forest, and my body's gonna be like a little kid. It's gonna sit down, cry, and pee itself, and cry some more, and it doesn't know what to do right now. So it's gonna be an emotional wreck in the middle of the woods, and it's gonna cry. Human body is not as efficiently and well built as it could be. Let's just say that. And we all have to live in these little meat vehicles until we go on to the next part of our journey. So, you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I did want to get that video out for you guys so I sounded like a human being that could think. And just to let you know that, you know, Loki can be with you in whatever capacity you need him to. And it's okay to be vulnerable with him. He's not going to gobble you up. He's not the god of pounce on you and gobble you up the moment you're vulnerable. Because I couldn't be any more vulnerable than I am at this point. It's... You just won't ever understand it unless you've been on Expexor and come off of it. But, yeah, he's not the god of pounce on you and gobble you up the moment you're truly vulnerable. He's actually been following me around and making sure I take care of myself, making sure I sleep, making sure I eat, watching over me, being that, like, protective, you know, fox figure, you know, in, you know, a respectable, he's close, but he's also keeping a respectable distance, so I don't feel like he's pitying me, and I don't feel like he's playing nursemaid, but he's like showing me that he loves me and he's here. He doesn't intend to go anywhere, but you know, he's Loki being Loki. He's taking care of one of his own, and you go ahead and yell at him. He's not gonna go anywhere. So I will see you guys later, and blessed be. Yeah, hopefully, you know, if you want to do something, have good intent that this Expexor nonsense gets out of the system. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.